And when I tell y'all, baby, if something happened to my loved one, don't deliver news to me like this. She walks in, Rhaenys walks in, and Rhaenyra is just like, oh, how is Lord Corlys? I sure hope he good. Baby, your dad dead. Your pappy gone. Like, she literally was just like, daddy dead. Damien is in there dishing out stuff for folk to do. And my baby Jace walk up in there like, hold on now, bro. Baby, look, my mama say ain't nobody making no motherfucking move. Child, Damien look like, oh, ain't you cute? Yo, you send them pigeons or ravens. I don't know why I said pigeons. And Jace is like, baby, did you hear me? What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be recapping House of the Dragon episode 10, the season finale. Y'all, I thought this was so good. Like, this was really good. Now, I have had a complicated relationship with House of the Dragon. I love this season finale and the last few episodes, but I feel like I still stand behind this show has a pacing problem. I completely understand setting stuff up, but baby, you got to give us some kind of payoffs in there. But I enjoyed this, and I actually wasn't even going to watch it. I stopped watching at like episode 6 or 7. I can't remember exactly. And I was in no hurry to come back to it. One thing about this show, and I put up a poll on my community tab of upcoming content, and I was like, you know what? Let me throw in House of the Dragon, and if anybody vote for it, then I'll do it. If it don't get votes, I ain't even gonna think about it. I am so happy to the folks who voted for House of the Dragon because I enjoyed this. I really did. I really enjoyed where the story is taking us. I enjoyed where the story is going. I wish the execution was different. Like I said, I have been very bored with the show. I really feel like it has a pacing problem. However, I hate the way this season finale ended, but we're getting into that. Baby, let's stay with the highs. Let's stay with the good because I thoroughly enjoyed this. I binged the last 3 episodes all together when I saw the season finale. So, of course, you know, obviously so I could be caught up. And man, some great payoffs. And I have to say, recapping the final episode, but I gotta throw some stuff in from the previous episodes that I had to get caught up on. The only thing I want to talk about is Viserys. Y'all, I have called this man, like, he dumb, and I ain't really been a team Viserys. I'm team Viserys. Y'all, I ain't even gonna tell y'all, I ain't ashamed to say, baby, I dropped one little thug tip when he refused the milk of the poppy, and he walked up in that throne room for Rhaenyra. When Lord Corlys' brother was coming for her kids, and they claimed to the sea snakes position, y'all, I dropped one little thug tip. One thing I can say, Viserys ain't meant to be king. He wasn't. He was weak in that aspect, but Viserys was a good man, and he loved his mother freaking daughter. And y'all, did he call her his only child? Did I catch that right? But man, he loved his daughter. He loved his daughter, and he would stand up, and I dropped one little thug tip. But let's get into the series finale. Now, we start this episode with Lucerys, who is Rhaenyra's youngest. Well, no, not the youngest, because now I think she has about 4 kids now. But out of her first oldest two, Jace and Lucerys. Jace, of course, is her firstborn, so he's her heir. So Lucerys is the heir for Laenor, the Valyrian side, and is supposed to take the sea snake's position. And of course, where we left off at, the sea snake was gone for 6 years at the battle in the Stepstones. He was gravely wounded. We had no idea if he would survive. So at the top of this episode, Lucerys is telling Rhaenyra that he don't want the position. He don't want it. He talks about how great his grandfathers are, and he like, look, I can't be a part of this. I get seasick. Like, I can't do this. And baby, I'm right there with him because I get seasick too. And I have always said, I don't know why everybody want to be a boss. I don't want to be a boss over nobody. I don't want the responsibility in the slightest. So I completely get where he is coming from. I love this scene we get Rhaenyra and her son. It really feels like, and we have already gotten this throughout other episodes, but it really feels like Rhaenyra has a real bond with her kids, a bond that I just don't see between Allison and her kids at all, in the slightest. But it really feels like all the crap that Allison has talked about her kids and everyone else about them being bastards or calling them savages. It feels like Rhaenyra is really raising her kids to be good men, which we can't say that for Allison, little heathens that she raised. Now, Rhaenyra ends up telling him that you don't get to choose your destiny, it chooses you. And he, brings up her situation with Viserys and how she said he let her choose. And she tells him the truth of the situation. She was scared, and he ends up, but she stood up for her duty and, what was placed on her. And he tells her he's not like her. And she's like, not like what? And he pretty much says he's not perfect like his mother. And I thought this was so endearing, and I really loved it. Isn't it crazy how when you're a kid you really see your parents as perfect? I guess obviously depending on the type of parents you have, but I remember when I was a kid I always felt like my mom was perfect, and I kind of still do. I know in reality no one is perfect, but it honestly at over 30 it's still like I have to consciously tell myself my mother isn't perfect. I truly feel like she is, but it's crazy how that happens. And it was just so endearing the way her kids look at her, the love and values and everything that she instills in her kids is y'all. I'm about to jump to the end because it hurt, but let's stay the course. Now we end up, the last time we saw Rhaenys, she was being held prisoner in the castle because they wanted her to pledge allegiance to Aegon, second of his name. And I gotta say, I find the politics and all this a little crazy. So, baby, you gonna hold me captive and threaten to kill me if I don't pledge allegiance to you? What type of loyalty is that? Because, baby, I'm just gonna say I pledge allegiance and then I'm gonna leave and I faked you out. I don't know. I thought that was crazy to be like, yeah, you just gotta die if you don't pledge allegiance to me. Like, what kind of foolery is that? But whatever. It's the Game of the Thrones. Rhaenys ends up flying in to Dragonstone, and she goes to Rhaenyra and Daemon. And when I tell y'all, baby, if something happened to my loved one, don't deliver news to me like this. She walks in, Rhaenys walks in, and Rhaenyra is just like, oh, how is Lord Corlys? I sure hope he good. Baby, your dad dead. Your pappy gone. Like, she literally was just like, daddy dead. And I'm just like, hold on, baby, I know this is urgent and we gotta get to, but can you soften your delivery? I thought that was so crazy. Your daddy dead. Like, it was just so crazy. Oh, I hope Lord Corlys is good. Baby, your daddy dead. Like, the way she it threw me. I was like, damn, Rhaenys. But she ends up warning Rhaenyra, saying, your father is dead. And of course, that was her cousin, and she has a love for Viserys. So she, throws all of that in there, and she tells them they got the whole city together, had the ceremony. They have named Aegon II as king. And, side note, they annoying me recycling these names, because recycling these names got us in this ish. But anyway, she ends up telling them Aegon is on the throne, your father is dead, and immediately Daemon and Rhaenyra jump to the Greens killed Viserys. And I don't blame them for thinking that. Obviously, as a viewer, we know that Viserys just died on his own. He wasn't murdered, but the way this looks, I completely get why they would say they killed him. Now, Daemon ends up kind of sitting, kind of behind Rhaenyra. Y'all know Daemon gonna Daemon, and he was seething. And Rhaenyra is like, so they wanted you to pledge your fealty to them. And Rhaenys pretty much said, yeah, they locked me up in that mug until I would, but I broke out on her dragon. Y'all don't ask me these dragon names. They fly, but I can't remember them, and I ain't even gonna try to pronounce them even if I could. But they end up being like, oh, but so they wanted to force your allegiance, but you still alive. And when she had that moment when Rhaenys came up out that mug with her dragon in front of the Greens, I was like, Dracarys, burn them niggas. Like, you could end it right here. And Damon was upset that baby ain't burned their asses to the ground. But Rhaenys did make a good point. And as much as I was watching that episode like, burn them, she said this was not her war to start. And that is completely true. That was not her place to burn them. Even though, baby, that would have saved us a lot of heartache. But baby, they been mad. But Rhaenys pretty much lets them know she is loyal to her husband and her house. So she is loyal to Rhaenys, not Aegon. But it was not her place to, Dracarys they ass. Now, at the news, the dagger of her losing her father, which she already lost her mom, and losing your parents, child, it tailspin, it threw Rhaenyra into premature labor. And I was literally had moments where I'm like, if Rhaenys would have burned their ass, it would have saved a lot of trouble. But then when we got to Rhaenyra and her premature labor, which was, baby, I don't see how anybody watch this show and ever want to give birth, but it was horrific. But I was also like, well, damn, if Rhaenyra just died in childbirth like Laena or her mom, the Greens ain't got, well, she does still have her oldest son, but the little boy ain't, Damien would likely go to war. But I don't see the little boy really doing nothing. But I'm like, baby, if Rhaenyra just died right here in childbirth, that saved them a lot of problems. But Rhaenyra goes into premature labor, and in the middle of struggling and suffering in labor, she calls Jace and Lucerys in, and she pretty much lets them know that their grandfather is dead and that the Greens have, stolen her birthright given to her by her dad. And she tells them nobody is going to make a move without her say so. And that is when we get Damien, y'all. I'm sitting here like, baby, Damien, she the heir. They're her throne. He making moves without her word. But, baby, Damien can't follow nobody. He don't take orders. Damien is in there dishing out stuff for folk to do. And my baby Jace walk up in there like, hold on now, bro. Baby, look, my mama say ain't nobody making no motherfucking move. Child, Damon look like, oh, ain't you cute? Yo, you send them pigeons or ravens. I don't know why I said pigeons. And Jason's like, baby, did you hear me? I liked how they did just this little, they didn't really get into it, but just a little dynamic I enjoyed, because let me tell you, Rhaenyra's sons ain't no punks. They might be scared, they might be shook, but they ain't no punks, and they got heart. Because y'all, these motherfucking planes. God dang it. Every time I try to record, niggas is on a plane. Where was I? Rhaenyra's sons might be shook, they might be scared, but they not no punks, and they got heart. I loved seeing Jace not bow down to the freaking monster that is Damon, who I imagine is likely very intimidating if you are in his presence. But Jace was like, nah, my baby. My mama say y'all niggas ain't making no moves, so y'all niggas ain't making no moves. But Damon ends up going over to Jace and, being like, look, young prince, I'm glad you're here because I got a lesson to teach you on loyalty. And he goes outside and we see them with pretty much pulling the same. I guess this is how you get folks to fail to, plead loyalty to you. It's just out of fear of death, because he pulled the same stunt. Yo, y'all gonna either pledge our loyalty to this side right here, and the dragon is right there, y'all. Right there. And I give you a clean death. But if you try to pull some, trickery and, do like I said I would do and just lie and pretend, baby, you gonna die screaming, okay? Baby, they pledged. Which was a lesson for Jace and how all of this works. Baby, dragons get ish done. And I will say there was such a good level of tension and suspense in this episode. I really felt like I was on pins and needles. Already when you go into any season finale, you're really expecting something big. But I feel like just the mood and how the story was moving, you just could feel such a suspense and tension. It was like, babe, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I was so anxious. Now, we see Rhaenyra in labor, and I don't know if it was stubbornness. I don't know if it was grief, but she just refused to let her, or they call her maidens, the nurses, the wet nurse. She refused to let anybody help her. She was screaming bloody mother freaking murder. And in between her in labor screaming, we could see flashes of her dragon. And I read this multiple ways. I read this as, because we get our dragons unless you take one after somebody died, or if there's just a dragon, you can take one. But the Targaryens get a dragon egg in their crib. They pretty much grow up with their dragon, and I feel like it was speaking to the bond between her and her dragon. And I was also like, well, wait, is the baby gonna be deformed? Are they trying to tell us something? I was literally on pins and needles, like, how is this baby going to look when it comes out? Because of course incest is a Targaryen thing, but that can cause all kind of issues. So I was literally sitting here waiting for her to pull out some type of half dragon monster thing. But y'all, when I tell you, I already knew Rhaenyra was the triple double OG. When baby wasn't even shook, she didn't even flinch. When Alicent tired ass came at her with that knife, trying to get her son out. But when I tell you, Rhaenyra Targaryen, first of her name, is a mother freaking G. She thug life. Because baby ripped her own child out of her. Look, baby, I can't barely rip a band-aid off. And Rhaenyra pulled the baby out. Y'all, I had a visceral reaction to the scene. I typically have a visceral reaction to labor scenes in general. It's literally like my worst nightmare. Like, I'm so shook when it comes to labor. But to see her over there screaming in agony and pulling the baby out, and the desperation of the women, like, let us help you, princess. Y'all, Rhaenyra was like, nah, F this. These niggas done killed my daddy. Now my baby is coming way too early. And it seemed like an extremely premature labor, because you can have a premature labor that's just kind of early term, maybe 7 months, but the baby could be good. But this seemed like premature. Like, baby wasn't even really showing with a huge, bump. But y'all, her baby came out. It did look like the baby, I don't know if it was deformed per se, but it did look like something was wrong with the baby. And poor Rhaenyra set the hole in her baby. It was so sad, y'all. This episode was bleaker than a mug. Not one smile throughout. Well, except, when I saw, my daddy, Sir Eric. But outside of that, this episode was bleak. This was depressive. It was so sad. She literal just got the news that her father is dead. Complicated relationship, but obviously a lot of love. And right after that, she loses her child. Lord, y'all, the state that Rhaenyra is in at like the most crucial moment in her life, the moment that she has been preparing for, that her dad prepared her for most of her life, is finally upon her, and it's marred by tragedy, grief, betrayal. Yo, whoo. everything that Rhaenyra is shouldering, y'all, you could just feel it emitting from the actor. Who, y'all, bravo. Give her all the awards. Now, we end up having a funeral for the baby. And I was having a hard time reading Rhaenys this episode, which I get more into, but I was clocking a lot of, little shots of her. First of all, baby was all the way in the back of the funeral, which I ain't really think nothing of, because her and Rhaenyra ain't necessarily close. So I saw it as, I'm here, I'm showing support, because of my husband and, everything. Have loyalty to my house. In turn, Rhaenyra, I'm here, I'm showing up. But if you peep her in the back, okay, let's get to it. Now, in the middle of the funeral, we're going to get back to Rhaenys in the back of the funeral. In the middle of the funeral, Sir Eric comes up. We got, Sir Christian let us down. Okay, he a little, y'all, I can't with Sir Christian. I really can't. But now we got Sir Eric. Look, call me, child. Send a smoke signal. Put the freaking bat signal in the sky. Whatever you need to do, just contact me. Now, Sir Eric shows up, and everybody kind of get on guard at first, but he like, nah, I ain't even here for that. He pulls out Rhaenyra's dad's crown. He pulls out Viserys' crown, and I only wish he had that dagger. I'm so mad that Aegon has that dagger. Like, I'm so mad. But he pulls out Rhaenyra's dad's crown and presents it to her, and he pledges his loyalty to her as her queen's guard. He, forsakes any wife or anything, any ownership of anything, and he pledges his life and loyalty to Rhaenyra. And I felt like he was proposing to me. But y'all, so much in this episode just hit me in the gut. Her dad crown. I'm so mad at Viserys for a lot of reasons. But man, I'm Team Viserys. And he tried the best he could for his daughter, for the realm, most importantly. And he really did the best he could. He just wasn't built for the position he was given, but he really tried. And I just felt like that was just such a moment when she got her dad's crown, and now everything he carried and the responsibility he gave her now truly, like, not just metaphorically, but truly just sits on her now. Woo, y'all, it was all the feels. Now this is when I said we're gonna go back to Rhaenys, because when Sir Eric does this and he bends the knee, everybody pretty much do the same thing. But did y'all peep? Rhaenys did not. She stayed standing up. And yeah, we saw a few guards that did as well, but I still peeped the fact that Rhaenys did not bend. It's going to be another time in this episode when everybody bend down and Rhaenys she's still standing. I don't know. I'm not saying, it mean nothing really big, but I'm just saying I peeped it. Now, after this, we end up seeing everybody gathered in this great room because we have a big situation. And I'm just like, damn, baby, you can't grieve your dad. You can't grieve your baby. We just right here. We right here trying to get, plans together, battle plans, trying to figure out our next move. So everyone is gathered in this, we're holding this court, and Rhaenyra comes in. And when I tell you just everything on Rhaenyra, and now no time to grieve for real. I'm in this room with all these men looking to me, and the position she's in is confounded by the fact that she a woman, and it's just, the patriarchy and misogyny rampant in these times. Which is why her throne was stolen from her in the first place. But it's like all of that on her shoulders, and all these men looking to her, and you do get the sense, not that she shook, but that she just has a lot shouldered on her, and she just says, you know, how does it look? Where are we at? What do we have? And baby, Damien ready. David coming in there like, baby, we got this fleet, we got that person over there, we got 13 of this, we got all this. Like he was ready. Like, baby, I got the answer before you even asked me. But oh, and I just saw in my notes something else I wanted to add that I really liked is that Rhaenyra, and y'all know how she was treated as a woman, even when she was in there, you know, when they would have their council meetings when her dad was king and she was in there giving them wine, and remember she would try to say something or different things, knowing, you know, she a woman. I love the fact that she has her stepdaughters right there with her as we're doing all this, and babies is here and they finna learn, and I just feel like, yo, Rhaenyra is so much better as a mother and mother figure than Alicent. I feel like these girls and Rhaenyra kids are going to be forces to be reckoned with. And not like evil forces like Alicent, you know, freaking predator ass kids. Because y'all, we ain't even finna get into her child and the poor little, what was that girl? Handmaiden, servant girl. But anyway, I love that she has her stepdaughters right in there with her. Now, as Damien is shouting off everything they got and all the people that, you know, they have on their side, one of the dudes stand up like, he kind of shook. Because, you know, in these cases, especially with Damien, child, he quick to just slice somebody's head off. We have to kind of be careful when we be coming at people and when we be trying to think up ideas and we be saying different stuff, because baby come in like, excuse me, but y'all sitting around here talking about how many people y'all got and folks and all these people over here. Baby, what about the dragons? Y'all Targaryens, F the people on your side, baby. Y'all got dragons. And this is when Damien goes into all the dragons they got. And y'all, why Damien named Rhaenys dragon? Rhaenys shot him aside. I'm like, nigga, who? Say what now? Say, excuse me, say what now? Like, and that was kind of like, baby Damien, you got the audacity to throw my baby. No, baby, that's my dragon. Don't count my dragon, count yours. I thought that was just so crazy how she looked at him. I was just like, Rhaenys, I'm right there with you, child. Like, don't volunteer my dragon for no ish, okay? That's my dragon. Now, in the middle of this, we end up having someone come in to give us an alert that a ship has been spotted. Now, these high towers piss me off for a lot of reasons, but another reason is because, baby, y'all ain't Targaryens, but you married into the Targaryen family, and now y'all feel like y'all Targaryens and y'all got dragons. Not I'm all for the incest with the Targaryens, so we need to keep this ish with Targaryen blood, because then you got folks who married into the family who really think they down with this ish. No, baby, these are dragons. They gonna pull up with a green banner with a 3-headed dragon, and I want to burn that freaking banner. No, you married into this. You new to this. We true to this. So we end up all gathering together, and who y'all think show up? The person who always showing up to deliver a motherfucking message. But I also assume it's a respect thing. We ain't seeing some lowly messenger. We sent Hightower as the hand of the king, and he comes and he has terms for Rhaenyra, and he is faced with just Damien, and he's like, yo, Alicent want me to deliver this directly to Rhaenyra. And where y'all think Rhaenyra at? Baby come through riding on her mother freaking dragon. Love it. Now, Hightower, I'm sorry, but it would have been on sight. Especially if I think you killed my dad. My dragon would have just burned all y'all up. But I completely get that ish like that starts a war. But Rhaenyra comes over and Hightower starts saying the terms. And I'm saying like, this is the most shanky terms I done ever heard of. He talking about yo, you don't get the throne and your son ain't heir to the throne. But what we can do is make your son a bartender. He can hold the cup for the king. I'm saying like, baby, what kind of terms is this? But But what I ain't like is before Rhaenyra can even say anything, Damian spits at the terms and rejects them. He tell Hightower, I'd rather see my kids fed to the dragons than carrying the cup for your little predator ass piece of ass joke of a king. But I said, the PG version, the PG version of what he said. Now, we end up having Hightower, who we all know this is all Alicent. Hightower want them killed. That's what him and the council already been plotting, is to kill Rhaenyra and her sons. So he has like this, it's like this condescending way he talks. Even when in early episodes, like when he talked to Daemon and he say my prince or certain stuff, it's just like a condescending tone. But anyway, he ends up, appealing to Rhaenyra friendship she had with Alicent, and he pulls out that page from the book, and the Daemon is like, bring me Sir Otto's head. But Rhaenyra's like, nah, she is seriously considering the terms. And as much as I'm more along the lines of, nah, let's slaughter all these. Let's slaughter all of them. She tells Hightower she'll have an answer for him by tomorrow. Now, after we meet with Sir Otto, everyone gathers back again in this great room. And someone asks Rhaenyra, so you considering terms? And yes, Rhaenyra is. Rhaenyra is really considering it because Rhaenyra is more concerned with the duty her dad placed on her as far as the realm and the peace of the realm and holding the realm together. And her focus is, Aegon's dream and the Song of Fire and Ice and the great battle that's ahead. So she understands, like her dad said, it's bigger than her and it's bigger than the crown. So that is Rhaenyra's focus. And I like Rhaenyra's character so much. I don't see how anybody could be for Alicent over Rhaenyra. I just personally don't. Rhaenyra ain't did nothing wrong yet. And I don't care about them trying to slut shame her. She ain't did nothing wrong. Hooking up with Sir Christian, she ain't do nothing wrong. Having her babies outside her marriage, she ain't do nothing wrong. Because she ain't cheating on her husband. They had an understanding. And that they business. Okay? But man, Rhaenyra is just such a stand-up character. And I just love the fact that she, in the midst of thinking these folks killed her own dad, in the midst of this grief and turmoil and losing her son and losing her throne, she is still more concerned with the people of the realm. That's her concern. And I just really love that about Rhaenyra. Now, Rhaenyra ends up telling them that, look, when dragons go to war, everything burns. And she does not wish to rule over ash and bone. And man, I respect that so much. Rhaenyra is much more concerned with peace and holding the realm together. And Daemon is like, baby, that's your daddy talking. That's what Viserys all up in you right now. Now, Rhaenyra ends up clearing the room. When you go to your friend's house and they start fighting with their boyfriend and you got to give them a minute. Now, she ends up telling Damien about the Conqueror's Dream, the Song of Fire and Ice. And baby, when I tell you, now I got to say, I ain't understand this. First of all, it's a lot of tension going on between Daemon and Rhaenyra right now that I feel like they didn't really give us context for. Last time we saw them, it wasn't no tension. And then now in this episode, baby, we on like opposite sides. And I completely get it could be jumped off by the fact that Daemon is about that life. Daemon ready to jump. You hear me? He ready to go for the throat. And Rhaenyra is taking a much more Viserys approach to the situation, and with good reason. But he grabs her by the throat. I mean, he yoked her ass up with one hand like the Terminator. And I'm just like, hold on now, baby. Y'all, that was so crazy. But he ends up telling her that dreams did not make us kings. Dragons did. And he's like, aren't you angry? Like, we need to, shut this ish down and take this back from the Greens. And I'm really wondering, do he just want to go to war and light bloodshed, or is this about his personal ambition and wanting the throne? Because, that's what he's wanted. Now, Rhaenyra ends up peeping the fact that, hold on, Viserys never shared this with you. He never told you this. And I love this even more because as much as Rhaenyra had this kind of contempt when she was younger, feeling like her dad was just so focused on wanting a boy, which he was, in the end, Viserys trusted Rhaenyra with the most important task and responsibility he could give. Nobody else. Not any other son he ended up having, not Daemon, not a single soul in the entire world except Rhaenyra. And I really love that she got kind of that, I don't want to say reward, but just the validity of the fact that you were enough, even though you're a woman and were not the son that your dad, wanted. You were exactly what your dad ended up wanting. You are the only person that he trusted with this, because at any time, he could have, like Aegon II said in 20 years, could have bestowed all of this on Aegon and told him all of this, which, child, what the hell would he have done with it? Because now, Daemon ends up walking out upset, presumably at the realization that, baby, it was never you and it was never gonna be you. Their relationship is so weird to me right now. Like I said, just the tension earlier in the episode when Rhaenyra was in labor screaming, like you could hear her screaming through the motherfucking place. She was calling for Daemon, and one of the men was like, yo, you want to go check on your wife? Daemon was just like, nigga, send them ravens. Like, he ain't even gone when she called him. I was like, Daemon, baby, come on now. And then just in the episode, he talks before her, making decisions when it's like, hold on now, baby. She the heir. She the queen. Let her speak. Stop answering for her. I don't know. Y'all, what's going on with them? What is this about? I don't know. It's tripping me out. Now, we end up seeing the sea snake waking up, Rhaenys by his side. And baby, y'all, don't you hate when you got beef with somebody, or you mad at somebody, or somebody done did something to you and they try to talk to you real, just casual, like it ain't happened? Baby, that's what the sea snake did. He done left this woman for 6 years and he gonna wake up, trying to say a little joke, because she was laying there asleep. I used to, hang men who fell asleep on the job. Nah, baby, don't talk to me all casual. Nigga, we got beef. But Rhaenys goes into the fact that, yo, you abandoned me when I needed you the most. We lost our children. I know. She said our children were stolen from her, baby. They weren't lost. They were stolen. And the sea snake goes into he lost, and she had to correct that. No, baby, we lost. We did. And the sea snake ends up getting the news that his brother is dead. That his brother's ambition for his seat caused him to call into question, not Lucerys, that's the old, wait, who the oldest? Jace is the oldest, Lucerys is the youngest. Call into question the validity of Lucerys inheriting the sea snake's position. And when he called out his parentage, that Daemon cut his head off. And the sea snake ends up going into the fact that heedless ambition has always been a Valyrian weakness, and he finally understands everything that Rhaenyra has been going on about with him and his ambitions of the throne. And he tells her that she was right, and that their pursuit of the Iron Throne is at an end now, and that they will not declare for nobody. He like, look, baby, we in our golden years. Let's go retire down in Florida. Let's enjoy our grandkids. And ain't this just like life? When you're in a relationship with somebody and y'all on 2 different pages, and then one person finally gets to the person page, but now that person ain't even on that page no more, that you just not finally getting to, because Rhaenys is like, nope. No, we finna be a part of this. She ends up telling him that, look, these boys will not be safe as long as Aegon II sits on the throne. And I swear, every time I say Aegon's name, I'm going to add the second. Because if it wasn't for that miscommunication, we wouldn't be in this issue. If y'all start recycling these damn names. But she tells him that as long as the boys, as long as Aegon II is on the throne, the boys are not safe. And he goes into the fact that, no, Rhaenyra killed our son. And Rhaenys defends her. Now, Rhaenyra did confess to Rhaenys that she did not have her son killed and she was not complicit in it. I have no clue if Rhaenys believes that or not, or if she's just looking at the bigger picture, if she's just, like she said, has loyalty to her house, her grandkids. And I do think that they have a love for Jace and Lucerys, even though they're not blood related to them. But she goes into the fact that everyone down there in that room is urging Rhaenyra to plunge the realm into war, and she is the only person showing restraint, and who her ultimate thing that she's focused on is holding the realm together. And she explains that to the Sea Snake. Now, while they're in the room having their discussion, I'm talking about Rhaenyra and everyone in that great room, we have Rhaenys and the Sea Snake who end up entering as they're discussing war. And he ends up going over to this, y'all, I want this table. They like this table with fire, y'all. You know, they got a fly little table in there cooking up their battle plans. And they put, everyone's little flag kind of look like a giant chess piece to represent the houses of who are all our allies. And the Sea Snake go over and he like, those are your allies, is way too few to win a war against the Iron Throne. And Rhaenyra goes into, well, I hope XYZ, the Starks and all this stuff. And he pretty much tells her, hope is a fool's ally. But in the end, he ends up telling Rhaenyra that she has the full support of his house and his fleet. And he adds, your grace. Because if I'm not mistaken, he was calling her princess. And I want to be like, hold on now, baby. My daddy dead. Stop calling me princess. I'm Queen Rhaenyra now. But in the end, he does give her that respect when he tells her that, I'm on your side. You can count me as an ally. So he also drops the bomb that they are in full control of the Stepstones, that the narrow sea belongs to them, and they are cutting off any type of trade and travel to King's Landing via the sea, which is a big deal. Now, they have certain houses like Baratheon, Stark, that they pledged fealty to Rhaenyra 20 years ago, but we need to, make sure that they are still with us and not Aegon. And they end up saying, well, we'll send a raven. And this is when Rhaenyra's oldest son, Jace, ends up saying, no, me and Lucerys should ride there because dragons are faster and more convincing than a bird. And this was very reminiscent of when young Rhaenyra stepped up at the council meeting when Daemon had those eggs saying, no, send me. I'm a dragon rider. I should go. It was very reminiscent of that. But man, like I love her kids. We don't get much of the kids, but anytime we do, I love anytime we have them on here. Now, I was sitting here like, hold on now, baby, that's a lot. My baby just died. My daddy just died, and I don't know if I want to send my kids. Like, that feels like such a tall order. That feels so scary, especially Jace. Like, you're my firstborn child. It's always a special bond, love when it comes to your firstborn, and not just that, but you're my firstborn. You're my heir. I can't risk you. Of course, you have a ton of kids so that you have a lot of heirs, but she ends up telling him he's right, and she gives her kids the message and understanding that, look, you are going here as messengers only, not warriors. Promise me. And I am confused. Now, I know the time jumps. They let us know. But, baby, I'm confused on the ages of these kids because, of course, Alicent's kids are older. But Jace looked like he about 12 years old. No, Jace is the oldest. Jace looked like he about 16 years old. Luceres, the younger one, looks like he about 12. And then Aegon looked like Aegon the second looked like he 18. And then Aemon, who is the younger brother, looked like he 30. Baby, why that actor look 30 years old? Is it the scar? Did that age? Like, y'all, these kids' ages is throwing me because it's, baby, why does Luceres literally look 12 years old? How old is this kid? How old was he when they sliced his eye? Because why he 12 and his uncle 30? Like I said, I know they are older, but it's like, I don't know. And then it's like Aemon looked 30 years old, but his big brother, Aegon the second, looked 18. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's happening. But she ends up also giving each child an individual message for the house that they're going to. And she tells them that, you know, you're the prince. You should receive a warm welcome. Now, I gotta say, as I was watching this, I thought it was a bad idea because I was thinking, you already know that Rhaenys was just so happened to be in King's Landing when your dad died, and they held her hostage to pledge to them. It is obvious that anybody there, they trying to get on their side. Why would they not think they need to go to these houses, Baratheon, Stark, etc., that previously pledged you and now get them over to them? I don't know. I don't know if Rhaenyra thought they was just sending ravens and we the only ones had the bright idea to ride a dragon, but I was like, this ain't smart. They got dragons too. Dragons are intimidating. Why would they not think, let's go send dragons to, you know, these people that previously pledged to Rhaenyra? I just, at the time I was watching, I said, baby, this is a terrible idea. And I said, I bet that the Greens are already at the location. I thought the Greens were already at both locations. Now they didn't. They never in this episode showed us Jace. So I don't know what went down with that. Now, we end up getting a scene with Damien, and I'm like, all I could think, well, babe, what the hell is Damien doing? Because you never know. You never know. I was like, child, what's he doing? He's deep in, I think, the dragon pits, and he's singing to a dragon. Y'all, who dragon was this? It wasn't Damien dragon. Who dragon he was singing to? The dragon was breathing fire. Damien singing in old Valyrian, but the scene just got cut, and yeah, we don't know nothing about nothing on that. That's why I say certain stuff with the season finale kind of annoy me. Now, I completely understand and am on board with us not getting conclusions to storylines. It's a TV series. These stories are ongoing. However, we should get some type of payoff, and it shouldn't just leave everything on a cliffhanger. We got no resolve. What the hell was Damien doing down there, baby? I don't know what that scene was about. We could have just cut that and threw that into season 2 where y'all could give us, you know, more information. But they setting up something, child. And that's all y'all been screaming at me every time I critique the show. They setting up. They setting up. Okay, child, they setting it up. All right. But I don't know what the hell Damien doing. But they setting it up. Now, y'all, I need some insight from the folks that read the books. What is with Damien's character? Because I feel like the actor portrays Damien as a very layered, nuanced character, not just evil, not just good, you know, but it feels like the only thing the show is giving us of Damien is evil Damien. Like, is he just evil or is he just a complicated character? It's throwing me. We don't really see him in a loving role as father, loving role as husband, loving role as brother. We just keep getting, and it does feel like he's a nuanced character the way the actor plays him. It does feel like he loves his brother, his family. He has a loyalty, but at the same time, they kind of don't really give us that. They just always seem to just give us Damien being evil and out for himself. So I don't know. Now, we end up seeing Rhaenyra's younger son, Lucerys, arrive at House Baratheon. Y'all, why that name sound familiar? Please refresh my memory. Was they folks that I hated in Game of Thrones? I just feel like that name sounds so familiar, but I can't place it. Baby, y'all, please remind me. Who was the Baratheons? Did I hate them? Now, Lucerys arrives at the Baratheon house. And when I tell y'all just the way the ish was feeling, I was so scared for this little boy. And then we see that big ass dragon, the biggest dragon of them all, that his one-eyed Scarface ass uncle stole from the little girls when Lena died, parked up outside. And let me tell you, child, I'd be like, no ma'am. No, ma'am. Them guards standing outside would have saw my ass park, get on my dragon, and then get the hell back on my dragon and get the hell on. I would have came back to the dragon stone like, yeah, mama, yeah, about that message you told me to deliver. I wasn't able to make that happen. It would have been like when your mama is at work and she tell you to take the chicken out the freezer so it can thaw out by the time she get home, and you get caught up in your own little kid mess, and then your mama get home and be like, baby, why the chicken still frozen? And you be sitting there like, baby, I would have been sitting there looking at my mama like, yeah, about that message. I saw that big ass dragon and I brought my ass back home. So I'm gonna give it to the little boy. He had the guts to walk in there, but I also feel like, because he was shook, I also feel like he was under the belief of them respecting the fact that he was there as a messenger and respecting the politics of the situation to not kill the messenger. But your uncle evil, little boy. I don't know why you don't know that. Now, y'all, I can't even hardly rehash this. My soul. Now, Lucerys gets in. And we see Scarface. But let me tell you, child, I can't stand none of the greens. None of them. Like, I don't like nobody. And I'm not the type of person who don't like the evil characters. I was Team Cersei. I was. At the beginning, I wasn't. But I ended up being Team Cersei. I'm all for bad guys. If you got a good bad guy with, like some flair, and they cool, I will be down with the bad guy. But I don't like none of them. I don't like none of them. But I'm going to tell you like this. That little blue eye that Aemon got, that's fire. That more look. I'm sitting here like, why is you mad they took your eye, baby? That was the best thing they ever did for your image, because you look fire right about now. Like, I love that look. First of all, he always got some scowl on his face, but just his look, just the character with that scar and that eye. Yo, that ish fly. That ish is so fly. But Lucerys goes in, delivers a message. Y'all, why the Baratheon king can't read, child? Do they not learn to read? Is that like beneath them? He got to call over his squire. Is that the word he used? To read the message. And he pretty much is mad. And I do feel like Rhaenyra wasn't smart. Well, how she went about this. He was like, you walked in here empty-handed, coming in here trying to remind me of an oath my dad made. Nigga, look, they promised me a marriage pact. You gonna marry one of my daughters, baby? He got a lot of daughters too, and that needs to be betrothed. But Lucerys is like, well, I'm already engaged. I'm betrothed already. But what he should have said is, well, I got, a little baby brother, because they got another little baby. That remember, when Rhaenyra was by Viserys' bedside, she introduced him to her little baby. You could have betrothed him. Baby, betroth somebody. But it didn't make sense that Rhaenyra will have her sons walk in there. And I get that you want to say, well, they've already pledged. And I think they even made a line about how the Starks don't break their word. But if I am in a situation where somebody has taken the throne, they have that power, I'm going to do something to convince folks to ride with me instead of them folks. Yo, you sent your son to she ain't sent her son to the slaughter because the Baratheon king wasn't going to kill him. But girl, this ain't, come on now. Now, he ends up telling the kid, I think he called him a pup. Like, yo, take your little ass back home and go play with some Play-Doh. Get out of here. You can't even marry one of my daughters. Now, Amon ends up jumping his tail in and demanding that Lucerys gives him his eye. Now, y'all, am I remembering events wrong? Now, I completely remember them getting into that fight down there when he took the mama dragon. But why did I think it was Jace that stabbed his eye out? Was it Lucerys that stabbed his eye, or was it Jace? Because he talking about he owe a debt, but I'm like, hold on now, baby. I think it was the big brother that stabbed your eye out. But maybe I'm remembering wrong. But the Baratheon king pretty much stops pretty much stops Amon from attacking Lucerys. He's like, not in my house. Like, this ain't the housewives. You not walking up in folks' home and acting a fool. Take your ass out. You don't know, take that. No, not in my house. And he pretty much tries to tell his guards to get this little boy out of here before he get hurt. But I know you can't control Amon or, whatever. But you shouldn't have let them leave at the same time, baby. Like, you should have told Amon, hold on, get a little boy about 20-minute head start, let him get on. But Lucerys ends up getting on his dragon. It's storming, it's raining, and he's flying through the storm trying to get home. And all of a sudden, we see the mother freaking Chrysler building fly above them. Y'all, that big ass dragon is a big ass dragon. Yo, it's like a fly and a freaking Doberman. Like, it was insane. Amon's dragon is like 5 of Lucerys' dragon. It was freaking insane. But I was watching, like, I really, honestly, as I was watching, I did not think Lucerys was going to die. I really didn't. And I was sitting there like, okay, is it about the size of the dragon or is it about the skill of the dragon rider? I wonder how this is going to go. Now, Amon ass yelling that he owe a debt. He going after Lucerys, but Lucerys ends up getting into this spot where it's like some kind of cliffs where he can fit because his dragon is smaller, and Amon and his dragon is too big to fit. When I tell you, child, I'd have stayed sitting right there until my mama came and got me. Child, we would have starved in there. I would have stayed my black ass right there. No, ma'am. And I be saying that when I be watching horror movies, when you hide so well, baby, I'm going to stay hidden. I'm not getting out of my hiding space thinking the coast is clear. Baby, this fool is crazy. He is coming for your eye. Why would he just leave? I was like, baby, just stay there. Just stay. I would have stayed there till my mama or Damien came and got my ass. I'm going to tell you that like, look. Now, I really feel like this is another reason that even though I'm the type of person that typically likes the bad character, I can't get down with Amon because it's like, it's not logical. Like, I completely get being evil for like self-interest, self-gain, etc., but this is all so stupid. First of all, when Lucerys came in to talk to Baratheon, Amon was like, you trying to steal the crown from my brother or the throne from my brother? Hold on. This ain't logical, baby. Your sister, excuse me, sir, y'all stole the throne from your sister. So how you sitting here talking about y'all trying to steal? Baby, I can't steal what you stole. You stole from me, but you talking about I'm trying to steal from... No, baby, if you steal from me and then I try to get back what you stole, I ain't stealing. I'm getting back what you stole. And then him being upset about this eye, baby, you damn near 30 and you upset with this little 12-year-old boy. I thought you told your mama, forget the eye, you gained a dragon. Why you not just happy with the fact that you literally have the biggest dragon out of everyone? Why are you still acting pissed about this dumbass eye when you yourself said, I lost the eye, but I gained the dragon? It just feels so stupid and juvenile and dumb. Your big grown ass is going after this little kid over this foolishness. And the way that Amon called Lucerys boy, he said boy with the hard ER. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. The ish felt derogatory. I don't know why the hell he called him boy like that. Like, hold on now, baby. I don't know. Like, it just really gets on my nerves. I feel like for me, Cersei, her dad, the Lannisters, they were like smart, conniving, but Aemon and Aegon II, they just feel dumb and juvenile and like kids throwing a temper tantrum, and everything is illogical. Even Otto, I would say I'm more on board with him and his choices. He's calculating. It makes sense. He's misogynist. He don't want a woman on the throne. He want his blood on the throne. His like, it makes a lot more sense. But Aemon and his stupid it just, his attitude is just so dumb. It just does not make any sense in the slightest. Now, Lucerys ends up thinking the coast is clear. He goes and flies, tries to get home. He's out of the storm, and oh, before we got to the hiding spot when we was flying, because this is a part of what's finna happen, Lucerys' dragon breathes fire at Aegon's dragon. And look, thug life, little dragon. Good job. His person, dragon rider is in peril, is in trouble. The little dragon is in fight or flight mode. And baby say, I may be small, but I'm still a dragon. And you ain't finna just punk me. And I'm gonna stand up for myself and my dragon rider. And he blows fire at the bigger dragon, which Lucerys is like, no, obey me. And no, baby, that big dragon, he said, hell nah, you ain't finna blow fire on me. And next thing we know, so we end up seeing the giant Chrysler building dragon just come out of nowhere and just devour the little dragon. Yo, rest in peace to that little dragon, because baby was a fighter. He went out fighting. He ain't let them just punk him. And Aemon, dumbass, yelling, no. I think, what was the dragon name? Vhagar, no. And I'm sitting here like, hold on now. Look, what they say, you don't play with guns and you don't play with dragons. Because see, Aemon, that's why I say he juvenile and he act like a kid throwing a tantrum. I guess he just trying to play with the boy, scare him, whatever. But he ain't trying to kill him. But baby, this is a whole ass dragon. And what did Viserys say? The Targaryens don't control the dragons. This was a prime moment of, you done fucked up right. Like, you done effed up right. you know. Because, baby, let me tell you. Aemon single-handedly started this war. Because my girl, Rhaenyra, who the Greens like to talk smack about and who they like to freaking slut shame, she was literally not wanting to go to war, putting the peace and the realm above everything, seriously considering terms. But you done killed her mother freaking son. Y'all, this hurt my heart. This hurt my heart so bad. Pour one out for the homies, for the dragon, and for his dragon rider. Pour one out for him. And y'all, why is Aemon not mad at his brother? Even though it feel like he plotting on his brother because he want the throne, but your brother was the one who did that whole pig dragon-ish. Why you ain't mad at him? And ain't that what kids do? They tease each other. It wasn't like a harsh type of teasing like y'all did when y'all big ass was trying to fight them little boys when they was in there with Sir Christian. It was just like fun teasing. You ain't get hurt. They just bruise your pride. But he is just so angry. But I do like how they portrayed him murdering Lucerys, because to me, the character development we've gotten, the character that we have grown to know, I do not see Aemon as just a cold blood killer. So it made sense to me that he did not just set out to kill Lucerys, but instead it was an accident. But I don't know how the news gonna travel, because I already believe you killed my daddy. I'm going to believe you killed my son. I ain't going to think the issue was an accident. And I'm going to presume, because all we saw was wings. I'm going to presume wings was found on shore or something. Or maybe we found it floating in the water. I don't know how word got back. But, yo, this game of telephone with her son getting killed, it ain't going to go over well. Like, the message that gets delivered ain't going to be, there was an accident. And hold on now. Lucerys was supposed to inherit the sea snake's position. So who gonna get it now? And what happens to his stepsister that he was betrothed to? I don't know what happens with all that. Now we end up seeing Rhaenyra in that great room where they coming up with their plans, and Damian walks in, and I don't even want to know if Rhaenys comes in to say your daddy dead. I hate to see how Damian delivered this message, especially knowing the fact that Damian wants to go to war and Rhaenyra doesn't. Ain't no telling how he delivered this message. But when I tell y'all, no more Mrs. Nice Queen, the way I was waiting for her to turn around. When she turned around, that facial expression, I was sitting here like, go ahead, girl. Burn a whole mother freaking King's Landing just like Daenerys did. Go off like the Mad King. Like, you justified. And I feel like she's super justified because nobody can even give me a logical reason for why Alicent turned so hard against Rhaenyra. Because she wasn't a virgin no more? Like, Rhaenyra has literally not done anything to hurt any of the Greens. Literally, she hasn't. She told her dad to fire Otto as the hand because he was plotting against her. But literally, what has Rhaenyra done to deserve any of this mess that Alicent and the Greens have been spewing at her? I'll wait. Baby ain't did nothing but try to live her best life while simultaneously doing the duty that was given to her by her dad. That's it. That's all baby was trying to do. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this though. The innocent gonna have to perish along with the guilty, because I would burn that whole mother freaking city down. You hear me? I would be so, ooh, y'all, look child. Look, child. I'm burning that ish down. You talk about wanting an eye for an eye when your son I was taking out, baby, I'm finna kill everybody. Even that little girl who I like, they daughter, she gonna have to die too. Everybody gonna have to die. Baby, the little milkmaid's gonna have to die. The poor little lonely, scraggly kids that's in the streets, everybody got to die. I would be vengeful like a mother. And I would be vengeful because you killed my son, but I'm going to also be vengeful because that boy was a sweet behind child and he didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that at all. The only thing they did in that situation when Aemon lost his eye was stand up for themselves. He was literally, okay, look, I feel like he should have been able to take that dragon, but let's take that out the equation. You allowed to claim a dragon. Fine, claim the dragon. But them girls had a right to be upset because their mama just died, and Aemon shouldn't have hauled off fighting them. I took the dragon. I claimed the dragon. Keep it moving. But he started that ish, was about to bash the boy head in with a mother freaking rock, clock the little girl in the face. Baby, you deserve to lose a lot more than your eye. Like, that's just par for the course. Like, he should have just took his lick like a man and just moved on. You got the dragon. You essentially won in the end, but your ass had to still be petty. I'm burning all their asses down. Now, I enjoyed inside the episode when they was talking about this turn with Rhaenyra, I love how the actress who plays Rhaenyra was saying how once you lose both of your parents and once you lose your lover, you think you know what grief is, but once she loses Lucerys, that's when she realizes she didn't know grief at all until she lost a child. And I'm just like, man, this is going to be so monumental in the character of Rhaenyra. And I would hate to see her turn evil, but baby, we gotta, we gotta have no mercy. We gotta go up in that mug and slaughter. I feel like, though, what a terrible way to end the season. What a terrible way to just leave the audience hanging. Man, I really hate how this ended. It was too abrupt and jarring to me. We were left on. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like I said, I love this episode. I love where they took us with this story, but it was not a satisfying end for me. Like, come on, baby. Y'all couldn't get 2 more. We could have a 12 episode season. I don't know. But it is so amazing. Y'all, look how stuff work. Look at what happens and the situations we find ourselves in because of miscommunication, because of not communicating at all, because of taking small things and turning a mountain into a molehill. I mean, just look at how things have gone because of stupid, dumb ass like grudges and agendas. Sir Christian, Allison, Otto, all the people at the council plotting, Amon dumbass, the kids fighting. Like, it's just so crazy how this all has just snowballed when it did not even need to. Even with Allison and her kids, her instilling in her kids, she gonna come for you. You're a threat to her claim to the throne. Like, you're literally taking grudges and putting them on your kids and making them hate people like unwarranted. Rhaenyra wasn't thinking about your motherfucking tired ass kids. I love Viserys, but I really feel like he sealed his daughter's fate. Like, the worst move Viserys made was marrying Alicent, was marrying into the Hightower family. I really feel like he just really sealed his daughter's fate with that one. He really did. If he would have married Laena and had sons, I do not see this whole freaking Avengers Civil War happening if it would have went that way. I just really feel like, man, he really just screwed his daughter. Like, God dang, God dang. Now, I have previously said that I wasn't really blown away by the actress playing Rhaenyra. Baby, she done won me over. Baby, she done won me over. The scenes with her at Viserys' bedside, you know, that episode, this finale episode, look, baby done won me over. I'm impressed. I'm blown away. I take back what I said. I am down for the actress playing Rhaenyra. This literally for me was TV at its finest. The episode was so good, and this is the one episode that I really have no critiques other than I just don't like how they left us hanging. I don't like how it ended. But the dialogue, everything that transpired with the story in this final episode, I was really impressed. I love this. I love this. It annoys me though how the Hightowers get to freaking win. And I called it from the beginning because I know how the Game of Thrones universe was. I know how the Game of Thrones. Can I get my sentence out? I know how the Game of Thrones universe works. Evil prevails. I called it from the beginning that Hightower would get what he wanted, and he did. And I'm gonna call it now. Aemon probably gonna live a long, happy life until he elderly. Like, nobody gonna get no real comeuppance. I just feel like I foresee it, but it just annoys me how Alicent gets to have these speeches about honor and decency, and they get the slut shame Rhaenyra while she playing freaking foot Tootsie Roll with club foot, and her kids is freaking sexually assaulting folks and being all around evil. But y'all get to win and crap on Rhaenyra and her kids just because they, was born out of parents that weren't married, but they got way more decency than y'all. It just really irks me. It just really irks me. And I just feel like I already know how it's going to all end. Evil will prevail. Because, like I said, we already know when Game of Thrones came that there was never a woman on the throne. So I pretty much already know that Rhaenyra will lose this war and she will not be on the Iron Throne. But it just annoys me. Rhaenyra was genuinely trying to avoid bloodshed. She was genuinely trying to keep peace. When that's not Otto and them Greens concern, it just really irks me. But that the Hightowers get to win. Because they have already been winning, and I know they're going to continue to win. Just like the Lannisters just always won. And even in the end, they still won because Cersei got to just die in the arms of the only person in the world she loved besides her kids. Let me know in the comments, how did you feel about House of the Dragons as a whole? How did you feel about this series finale? Y'all, let me know your thoughts. Did you agree or disagree with my take? I know y'all don't agree when I said it's been slow and I ain't been feeling it. But did you agree or disagree with my take on this series finale? What was your impressions of everything? Are you team green? Please explain that to me. Let me know how you team Alicent over team Rhaenyra. Or are you team Rhaenyra? Because baby, I'm team Rhaenyra over here all day. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.